It's time for the famous 1980s slasher Prom Night. It's more thriller than horror. Here's the thing, I saw this so many times, and then by the time I was reviewing movies on YouTube, I didn't want to rewatch this movie again because I really hate it. I know a lot of people love it, but I hate every movie Jamie Lee Curtis pretty much did in 1980. Terror Train, The Fog, and a few. What's that other one? I even hate that semi truck one where she's like a hitchhiker. Yeah, that one's terrible. Anyway, back onto the Prom Night. The producer of this always claims that Jamie Lee Curtis was like 75% of the movie. But he's like, oh, it's a good thriller, good story, though. But Jamie Lee was the financial success. And he also claims that Paramount was closing in on a deal to distribute this, but they only wanted to put it out in 300 theaters. So then after they weren't able to get a distribution deal on this, Paramount jumped ship and financed Friday the 13th, 1980, the original. So who knows, if Paramount would have financed this and no one would have, and not a big studio would have financed Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th might not be Friday the 13th. Who the heck knows? I gotta mention the book filled with joints in this one. There's always just so many random deaths in this one. It's a revenge type of movie. And then the fat kid's like in his van and they're smoking a joint. And he has a book hollowed out with joints all pre-rolled and laying in there, and the killer ends up putting the car into drive and driving it down the ravine. It's a weird setup because the school is kind of like close to an ocean. Oh, the movies. This is why I hate it though. Most of the movie, they're just talking about going to prom. All these worthless characters, and who they're gonna go with, and whatnot. So that's all you get. It's kind of like the original Carrie, in a sense. But you don't get the battle at home like in Carrie. So, what else do I need to talk about? And then the rest of the movie, the whole prom is just basically a disco concert. It's like, brings you back to that era. So, I'm sure a lot of people love it because it's a great representation of that time, I'd have to say. And so a lot of people love it. And I think that's why Jamie Lee Curtis did it, because she was able to dance in it. And she does this awful dance routine. That's pretty much the only reason she gives for joining this movie. Because you got to think about it. She just did a Halloween and Halloween 2. And no, she was going to be doing Halloween 2 next. And then she already did The Fog and Terror Train. And she just kind of just joined Prom Night only because of that theme, the prom theme. And they totally milk it. And then there's this one death scene at prom where like the girl's being stalked in like the dark school hallways, and it just goes on forever and ever. On to the villain, and we get a villain that's wearing lipstick, a butthurt villain that's wearing lipstick. He's basically the boyfriend to the brother. No, he's basically like the boyfriend to like the villain of Hide and Go Shriek. That's what you're thinking the whole time. She's Jamie Lee Curtis's brother, and the whole thing is he never gets to like explain his motives, but you already know what all the kids like that they go to school with like ended up murdering their sister by accident, which you see in the opening scene. They also kind of make you believe Jamie Lee Curtis could be the killer. They also make you think Leslie Nielsen could be the killer. So it kind of is like, it keeps you off balance the first time you see it. But not one of my favorites. I'd have to give it a C- overall. Prom Night, 1980. This was JBM during my October 2013 horror movie marathon reviews. I'm out. Thanks for watching.